and welcome to this video on Continental Championship Wrestling. This is our discussion, and we're going to be looking at June 22nd, 1985. Rodney, this was a tremendous wrestling program.
Oh, it most certainly was. I mean, it shows why this is the premier wrestling organization right here. This show I would put against any show anywhere. Starts off the show with the United States Junior Heavyweight Championship on the line. Scott Armstrong, should I say, the United States Junior Champion, defending against Bill Ash. Bill Ash, class act from beginning to end. He has psychology down to a science, as he is the professor, as he called himself. He really knew what he was doing. He knew exactly what to do. Beg off in the corner, something we don't see today because nobody wants to do that. They kind of wonder, well, why can't I get over? What's the problem here? It's because you don't know your psychology. And when you watch these two guys, this is the first match. When you watch both of them come to the ring, the tremendous response of both Bill Ash and Scott Armstrong, it speaks volumes to exactly saying that this company's doing the right thing.
You know, and to me, the end of that match was tremendous. Scott gets knocked out of the ring. He tries to get back in the ring. He does the sunset flip over the top rope. And here comes Bill Ash. He holds the ropes. 1, 2, 3. This is spectacular. And then we got the new U.S. Junior Champion in Bill Ash. It was tremendous. This is tremendous way to start a program.
Every single match on this particular card, every single match makes you want to see another one. Yep. That's how good each one of these matches are. Next, we have Stars of the NWA featuring the Southeastern Heavyweight Champion, Austin Idol. And that was You Want to Touch by Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. And we saw that video. Came back with an interview with Austin Idol, the Southeastern Heavyweight Champion. And then in the ring, the brand new United States Champion Bill Ash and the former Southeastern Champion Jimmy Golden. And they're talking about the big Night of Champions, which in lots of cases, you don't know that Night of Champions before any other card they had because it's kind of the same thing. Anyway, so another match, just tremendous. Southeastern Tag Team Championship on the line. The Nightmares defending against Tommy Rich and Steve Armstrong. Wow. What a match. The people were into this match from the beginning to end. Again, in the end, after seeing this match, all it said, I want to see the next one between Tommy Rich, Steve Armstrong, and the Nightmares. Brent, what did you think?
This is what I thought about this match. You got to remember the Nightmares had just hurt Johnny Rich. Johnny Rich is out. Tommy Rich comes to take care of the revenge of Johnny Rich getting hurt.
Where's Johnny?
Where's Johnny? Where's Johnny was the big thing the Nightmares said. Danny Davis, Ken Wayne did a tremendous job in this match getting Tommy Rich over at the beginning of this match. They did everything to get Tommy Rich over and make Tommy Rich look like $1 million. That was their sole purpose, is to make Tommy Rich look good.
And in the end, make themselves look good. Yeah. I mean, the Nightmares, they were doing the switch again. Wrestlers do not want to do masks anymore, but we see the reason. If you watch this match, they were traditional mask tag teams switching in and out. And sometimes you really couldn't tell the difference between Danny Davis and Ken Wayne. Really, you couldn't. In the end, it is the Nightmares with the switch out as Ken Wayne came off the top rope onto Steve Armstrong. And they switched out. 1, 2, 3. It's the Nightmares still winning and still the Southeastern Tag Team Champion. Just tremendous match. Then they had the interview with Porkchop Cash, Lord Humongous, and Bob Armstrong. And of course, they talk about a previously recorded match. Of course, this was for Birmingham, I do believe, with Boober Lynch, the Great Kaiser, and Dr. Johnny Peoples. Worth the price of admission alone right there.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, they come back, and of course, they finish the match with the Nightmares with that in between that interview. Then we have another interview involving Scott and Steve Armstrong, which are in the arena. It's going to be facing the Nightmares for the Southeastern Tag Team Championship again. Nightmares just on top of their game in this interview, showing exactly why anybody they can wrestle with, it is a match. It is an event. anytime, whether it was against Dirty White Boy and Jerry Stubbs, whether it was against Tommy and Johnny Rich, it was always an event when the Nightmares, Ken Wayne and Danny Davis, were involved in it. And of course, in the interview, they're still saying, "Where's Johnny?" And they had their flowers. They wanted to give flowers to Johnny wherever he might be. And then it's the interview with Bob Armstrong. And they talk about the big cage match, which I guess was the previous Monday night in Boutwell. It was Ric Flair, Ron Fuller against Bob Armstrong and Lord Humongous. And in that match, Bob and Ric Flair tries for the figure four. Bob snatches him in the small package, counts him out 1, 2, 3, which is setting up another match between Bob Armstrong and Ric Flair coming down the pike. Then they have as they say, a very unusual. Today, you wouldn't have been able to show any of the Flame video on television. In fact, probably not even on this media here, as they are very sensitive about things nowadays. The Flame and his build up to a match with Bob Armstrong coming up in arenas. And it truly showed what tremendous talent Jody Hamilton was, be able to tell the story. And that's exactly what he did. He told the story about him and Bob Armstrong and what's going to be happening coming up. And of course, he threw fire. He was throwing things, shooting this and that, and of course, burning the picture of Bob Armstrong. Absolutely tremendous. What did you think, Brett?
Oh, yeah, that was a great interview. It did what it was supposed to do. It made you want to buy a ticket to go see the match against the Flame and the Bullet, Bob Armstrong, no doubt.
Match number 3, and can you imagine? This is the third match out of this whole hour. Only 3 matches. That's because the Nightmares and Tommy and Steve went tremendous amount of time. So did Scott and Bill Ash. These are premier matches. There wasn't no mismatch until we get to match number 3, and then it's Paul Brown. Paul Brown against the Lord Humongous, and I loved how Paul Brown ran from him in the beginning. I thought that was awesome. Just a great touch in the end. He catches him in the Shinnomaki, which Gordon Sully knew is the Cobra hold, which, I guess he had not been told to hear it was the Shinnomaki. Picks him up then right into kind of a power bomb. And that was the end for Paul Brown. In the interview, last of the interview is with the new, then they jump forward, of course, jump ahead. They have lots of times at Boutwell, they would have matches at Boutwell that you didn't see, and then they would just have the interview afterwards. And then this was the case, as a tag team match for an unusual tag team match with the Alabama Heavyweight Championship being on the line, which Lord Humongous had. Bob Armstrong was the Continental Champion. Both titles were up for grabs in a tag match against Ron Fuller and the Flame. Well, in this case, Ron Fuller and the Flame won. Alabama champion now is Ron Fuller, and the Continental Champion is the Flame. And of course, Gordon announced him as the tag team champions.
I noticed that. But hey, Ron Fuller did a good job, though. He picked up on it. What are you talking about? I'm the Alabama champion. I thought it was good. It was good.
Yeah, absolutely. Tremendous show. And like I said, the first show was a little rough, I have to admit, because that was the premiere show of the Continental Championship Wrestling from Birmingham. This show was polished a lot better. They actually lit the set this time. Looked great, and every single thing on that show was to make you just want to see it again, and they did a tremendous job, no doubt about it.
It was a tremendous show. If you've not seen it, look it up. June 22nd, 1985, Continental Championship Wrestling. You will enjoy it. You'll enjoy the Nightmares. Tommy Rich, Steve Armstrong, one of the greats. Nightmares, I've said, top 10 of greatest matches I ever seen. Included the Nightmares in them. They were a tremendous tag team, no doubt. Folks, if you've enjoyed this video, give us the big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you have not already done so. And go one step further, hit that notification bell. And we'll see you on the next edition of Continental Championship Wrestling Discussion.